Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, taking a fun and exciting video for you guys today because I'm taking a look at the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Static Recomp. It is the first Wii Static Recomp out there that you can play from start to finish, so much so that I've actually checked in with a few people and they've played the game and seen the credits scroll. And this is going to be one of two different videos depending on the schedule. Either Kirby's Return to Dreamland Static Recomp is out now, or I'm running this as a preview because the development team yet hasn't released it. I know it's coming soon, but we're just going to have to wait and see. When I first talked about this, I said that I couldn't get the game controlling on Linux for some strange reason. With the manual configuration, I couldn't get any sound out of it. Well, that was basically the first draft of this actual build. Now today, there is a Windows build as well as a Linux build with full control that'll automatically bind to whatever controller you plug in. Perfect audio and honestly, in my opinion, damn near perfect gameplay. So much so that I've talked about a few other people that have tested this and they've seen the credit scroll on it. They played the game from start to finish and had no issues. So in this video, you're going to see a Linux build as well as a Windows build. A big thanks to Andy D, the man, the myth, the legend himself, for helping on the Linux side of things. And when we're over on Windows, I will let you know as well. Just because Steam Machine seems to have a little bit of a software bug where the controller kept disconnecting, but it's done that to me on the entirety of desktop mode, not just in this recomp, but in basically anything I'm running. Hopefully Valve updates that soon, but on Windows, honestly, 100% of the time it worked perfectly, and that was absolutely outstanding. But before we get too much further involved, if you can do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But for the first Wii Static Recomp to come out, I am absolutely blown away by just how good this is so early. That is down into the conjunction of a lot of different tools that I will leave links to in the description below so you can read through them. This is more of a quasi-review of the actual recomp and less so about the technology underlying it. But honestly, this looks outstanding, it plays outstanding, and now because the audio has been fixed up, it sounds outstanding as well. And when you have a game so cute and so colorful and charming as something like Kirby's Return to Dreamland, it is a winner. And I know in the initial video some people were commenting, why this game? Because honestly, what sort of mods are you going to bring to it? And even though I wasn't able to find time to test it for capture, I did check in the background for a couple minutes. There is now online net play, so you can play a two-player game in this with somebody else in the world, as long as they have a build. So hopefully if this is the release video, you'll be able to do that now, and that is absolutely amazing, because it's not like you could do that on something like Dolphin easily, and obviously you weren't doing it on the console in and of itself. And the second reason is, why not Kirby? This game is cute, it's charming, it's colorful, it's an excellent game to recompile because it really does have a very specific Wii look to it, and second only to your mother, Kirby has had the most amount of individuals in his mouth in any given lifetime, and that really is saying something. And honestly, I just love this game. It is so much fun, and seeing it recompiled here is a good time. And I will say, as far as the controls are concerned, absolutely in my experience, no latency whatsoever, because as it runs as a static recompilation, it definitely doesn't really have to worry about that latency. And it's not like this game is the fastest Switch game in the world, but it is a first game to get running, and now we even have the Smash Bros. Wii Recomp that should be coming soon, as well as a Mario Kart Wii Recomp. And trust me, you're going to see dozens upon dozens of these projects start showing up, because the toolset on this one, made by 3 different parties, and again, I'll link down in the description below, is set up so that you can get games up and running in weeks, not months. You can use your own renderer. It is all done by humans, at least on the code portion of Kirby right here, and it really is just going to be a robust tool set to allow for more of these projects. And on the graphical side of things, I had absolutely no visual bugs, no visual glitches across Linux and across the Windows build. Now, I am on an NVIDIA GPU, and I know sometimes AMD will have a little bit more hitching until it is kind of patched up, and damn it, a leaf blower came on outside right when I was recording that line, and leaf blower second only to your mother for blowing things. The joke worked out, even if I was annoyed by having to wait 20 minutes for somebody to leaf blow their damn sidewalk. But there are leaves in Kirby, so it definitely has some context. What I was saying is, I don't have an AMD GPU to test on this thing. I am pure NVIDIA, so it's one of those things. Your mileage may slightly vary, and even though I haven't heard anything about that, every single time there is a hitching issue with a recomp or something, it comes to find out that it is an AMD GPU behind it. Not saying they're bad, they are great. It's just something that isn't as common out there as NVIDIA. Let's go to the first of 2 soundtrack samples. You can hear how good the music reproduction is in the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Static Recomp, and I'll be right back with more footage to talk more about the project and where Wii and even GameCube recomps are going to go in the future. So honestly, to me, the audio sounds 100% perfect, but as I say in a lot of videos, I do not have the ear to tell minute differences or issues in audio. So if you love this game and it's your favorite soundtrack and you know it back to front, leave me a comment down below and you tell me what you think about the audio. But honestly, even the aesthetic of this game is so charming when you go into these black and white areas and you have those nice pops of pink and blue and purple. It really does kind of delineate the background from the foreground, and that's being recreated here in the static recomp so incredibly well. And I am running this at 1920 by 1080, but it does have a resolution toggle as well as a simple launcher. Maybe not the prettiest thing in the world, at least in the version I am using, but it's 100% functional. It will bind to your controller and allow you to basically do whatever it is you need to. And that definitely is good because ease of use on these things absolutely paramount. And hopefully once this is out, if it isn't already out, you don't have to go through an entire GitHub build process. There is a release version, because I know sometimes that can trip people up when they actually have to build a GitHub project to be able to do this. But honestly, we're going to have a lot of Wii and GameCube recomps in the future, and that is going to be absolutely outstanding. Just think about how many incredible games are out there and what we could be getting in the future. That leads me into my every single video question. If you could snap your fingers right now and make one game from the Wii show up as an absolutely perfect recompilation, which one would it be? I'm going to go with Red Steel 2 this time with mouse and keyboard support, because honestly those games had a lot of potential, but being on the Wii control scheme definitely made them a little bit harder to play than you would want them to, versus something like if it was mouse and keyboard control, it would feel a lot better and a lot more of the game's fun would come out. And that really is the good thing about static recomps. Sure, if you played Kirby's Return to Dreamland on a Wii today or even in Dolphin, it would still be fun, but some games, pivoting up the controls definitely make the game better than they would be in any other aspect, and that is something that definitely helps us all win when it comes to having these games be more fun. And again, I always like to say this sort of stuff is actual video game preservation along with just fun, because I have 3 nephews and they would definitely all be down to play a Kirby game, but if I sat them down in front of a Wii, they might not be as interested because they might think it looked a little bit too old. But if I set them down in front of the static recomp and said it was a new Kirby game that came out for PC, because trust me, they don't know how evil Nintendo can be, they would be stoked to play it. They'd play it from start to finish and talk to their friends about it, and that is honestly the test here, because I see the statistics on my overall viewer base in the 18 to 25 category has gone up more than 4 times in the last 12 months. That's because modern is getting a little bit boring. People are looking towards retro to find more fun games, and more young people are actually playing them. That's always a win. And trust me, static recomps and PC source ports based upon decompilations are definitely help leading that charge. And when you have a game as good as Kirby and a recomp as good as this, you really know you're in for a treat for their next project. Let's do one more soundtrack sample, because again, the music here is so incredibly charming, and honestly, the reproduction in the static recomp seems to be flawless. And I'll be right back with just a bit more. So yeah, honestly, Kirby's Return to Dreamland as a static recomp is just straight up a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. That's why I made this video in advance, so it can either be a release day video or a preview if the team is working on other things, because I don't generally keep these videos around scheduled all that long if I think there's going to be vast improvements coming to them. But honestly, this is so buttoned up, I know I can let this sit for a few days just to see, so it's either a preview or a release. We'll just have to find out together. But honestly, if this is going to be the level of quality that we get out of Wii recompilations in the future, then we are in for a very positive back end of 2026 and a very positive future. And it's all down to a bunch of different developers making a bunch of different tools that can be used. So again, if you want to go through all of those specifically, there is a link in the description below to all of the different GitHub repos that talk about how this is done, because it is a very interesting thing, and I really love the technology behind all of it. But honestly, definitely check this one out when it is out. If it's not already out, it's worth it, and it is an amazing game. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.